You boys just want to hop right into the news?
Yo, hit me with the news.
You got it.
Time for the news. Oh,
This past weekend, Suicide Squad dominated the box office. It wasn't really domination, but
Dominated.
26.5 million. Yeah, so only 26.5 million. Aaron, do you know box office? That sounds low in an opening
That is
weekend.
not good. Yeah,
And that was number
You
one.
know the Muffin Man?
Yeah, the OG Suicide Squad. I don't know, and I could do a quick like box office thing here, but I'm
Oh, yeah,
thinking
make
that
'em
it
loud.
did way
Turn 'em
shittier
up.
than that. Even Suicide Squad 2, where the fuck is it?
Electric Boogaloo.
Um,
Mm.
yeah, no, 26
The one with
million
all the
for
birds.
that movie. So just to give you perspective, the budget for both of the 2021 and 2016, I think were pretty much the same. And the box office, just in the US, or no, that's fucking wrong. The international box office for the 2016 one was 750 million. Um,
Mm.
so the 2021 one starting with about 25 million, not very good. I'm thinking, I don't know what the HBO Max like revenue is looking like for them. I know, again, Scarlett
Yeah, I didn't
Johansson has
have
been
to.
fighting with Disney about the
Yeah.
Black Widow stuff, and I even saw Emma Stone. I don't know if you're going to get into that shit at all, but Emma Stone was like going to come at Disney possibly for Cruella because they ended up
Oh,
doing like a
okay.
similar thing there, with not kind of giving her the prop, like being like, "Oh, we're going to release it in theaters," and then they didn't really, and
Because they
then
all
like
have bonuses based on box office success, I'd imagine.
well, and most actors like streaming is one of those things where Hollywood is like in the Stone Age a little bit about still, where like they don't know, like tied into their contracts. A lot of people don't have like, hey, we get X amount of streaming like rights because there's not been
Sure.
a reason to like have that for up until probably like last year and the year
Yeah.
before, obviously. So a lot of money's being left on the table that they're not getting. So they're like, hey, we get 10% of the like theater profits, and then when the movie doesn't go into theaters, they're like, where's that fucking money going?
And HBO Max, I wonder
Yeah,
if they're
I
making.
doubt they get paid well anyway. So
I wonder if they're making less from HBO Max because Disney, I had to pay for Black Widow. I didn't have to pay for Space Jam or Suicide Squad to watch on HBO Max.
Yeah, again, I'm curious, how that all works out. I can't imagine that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confident that they're not making. Again, Suicide Squad like has a pretty robust cast.
Yeah.
And like pretty big names as well. So I'd have to imagine that there was a ton of money of that movie's $200 million budget or whatever went into not just special effects and stuff, but the fact that they've got like a 30 name cast list. But yeah,
30 people.
Seriously, James Gunn is not afraid of like the large cast. But 25 million is not very good.
Fires from the hip.
You do
Sure
bring a good
does.
point with the whole
That's
HBO Max being free versus paying for Disney. I love it, but like
I think more people are going to see.
You wonder how the
Suicide Squad,
actors,
like because of that.
Yeah, the
actors
numbers.
and the numbers, like how does Hollywood react to that? I guess is a question.
It may be something that
I love
keeps,
watching it for free.
For sure. It may be something that
I
keeps
love
HBO
free.
Max memberships active for stuff like that, but obviously
bet it
doesn't
will.
translate to any money in the pockets of Idris Elba or anyone else in that movie.
I don't think so. Like, think about how many people share. Like, I don't have an HBO Max account. I use Daryl or my sisters, and
Don't out yourself, pal.
Yeah.
No,
my
Time,
sisters now, so
Time
that's why I
Warner's going to
watch
come
Suicide
after you.
Squad.
yeah.
The cops show up and just drag Marty out of the show.
Bang on Marty.
They've got little WB patches on.
I'm in the cops' house right now.
Their badge is WB.
The siren's like da, 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 da.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
They pull him out. Porky Pig shows up. That's all, folks. And he just spins out, and that's the end of Marty's segment. And I'm like, oh,
Ibbity,
shit.
ibbity, get in the back of the car.
Anything you say will be used against you.
Cannon will be used against you. The first Suicide Squad is okay. And the second one, which is Birds of Prey, I keep calling it just Suicide Squad 2, but that's totally not right. But Birds of Prey was just okay, but there is one scene in particular where Harley Quinn goes to get an egg sandwich. And she talks about and this is dead serious. She talks about like the best egg sandwich ever. And I can't disagree that she's absolutely right. A great scene. I was totally surprised like watching it because that scene sticks out to me as probably the best in like the two movies. It's just funny because she's on it. She knows. Classic New York, just egg sandwich.
Oh yeah,
I'm all about it.
Yeah, I've never lived in New York because I'm not Kevin James, but that sounds great. I'm very glad that you know where to
Kevin
get egg
James, a
sandwiches
notorious New Yorker.
Yes.
Speaking of notorious New Yorkers, I think Ryan Reynolds is actually Canadian.
Yeah, he is Canadian. That's okay.
Ryan Reynolds says there's a
Reynolds.
70% chance of Deadpool 3 starting production next year.
Why would he pick such a strange number?
Yeah, 70% is odd.
Honestly, like that's honestly
said
that's
69.
funny. That's funny. Yeah,
60.
right. I agree.
That would follow
funny
some
for, like-
Deadpool suit.
Yeah, right. For me and you,
420,
are like
69%.
there's a 420% chance that we're gonna shoot Let's Get High Deadpool 3. I'd be like, oh shit, okay, I'll watch that.
It should be Deadpool 3 : 2 Electric Boogaloo. Like they're like, yeah, we can't fucking. We're just gonna reuse that shit.
So Deadpool 3 will officially be part of the MCU. It's not going to be on its own island. And it will still be R-rated.
Dead Island?
It won't be on Dead Island, otherwise known as Fox.
Cool Island.
Yeah,
Right?
again happy to like
Or
hear
Sony?
that stuff. I'm curious if is that going to be one of those things where, or like, is Disney Plus going to put that out for $30 on their streaming service? Like, do you think that even post pandemic is going to just be happening? Like,
If it's just
consistently?
filming next year, like you got to imagine like a 2023,
It's gonna be, like, 3 years down the
2024
road.
release date.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And who knows what the environment will look like then.
Regardless. Well,
Yeah,
regardless
that's
of that, I feel like
Delta
we're getting,
kills us
I feel
all.
like we're getting closer. Okay.
I'm already theta.
Just get vaccinated.
Already
I
am.
feel like
My 4th vaccine.
Yeah,
I'm collecting them all.
me too, buddy. Oh, gotta catch them all.
'Cause I don't know how long HBO Max
Fuck, man, that was
has the contract to with Fox and like Miramax and what it's all kinds of like random, not random, but there's a couple studios where like they have the rights to just release their stuff. But I'd have to imagine that the disputes that are coming from Disney will have an effect on like movies being released in that way, period, because I think there is a lot of like, where is this money coming from going to? Because I think even now, like years later, like Netflix kind of fudges the numbers a little bit. Like they're very kind of secretive about, like they're like, wow, 80 million people watched this Adam Sandler movie the first week, and we're like, is that really true? Or like, I
all
don't
these
know.
all these production companies are probably like Netflix, like what's getting the hits, and then that's where they're making most of their money.
I'm sure one, they have such a huge user base that even if they're like, hey, 20% of our users watch this, but 100% of them are seeing it on like the front banner of their, page when they log in. Like, I think for a lot of people, or for a lot of advertisers and shit, that's enough just to be like, hey, you can fall back on this. Like, you might not want to watch Suicide Squad, but HBO's got it here for free, so you may as well. Like, I think that is a big
I'm like,
pull.
fuck it, what am I gonna watch tonight? And
What am I gonna
just
not
pops
watch?
Up. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just
Suicide
throw this
Squad?
shit on.
Exactly. That's why I watched Suicide Squad today.
That's what it is. Where it ends up being, where theater profits really matter a lot less than streams and shit like that, because it's gonna come to the point where nobody goes to the movies anymore. Like we were barely doing it before, and like you guys said with the pandemic and all that, like it's gonna end up being, especially with all the crazy shit going on with Disney, and it's gonna be like we're gonna focus on streams more than we're gonna.
I think Disney committed to ending that practice, actually.
Of what
practice?
Of doing the like releasing on Disney Plus and in theaters at the same time. It was a news story I nearly covered. Yeah.
Well, why would you spend all that money to go to see a movie in the theaters with a bunch of people where you could just buy it? I buy it at home. Everybody would buy it at home.
Yeah.
I can get drunk at home.
Well, and I think
I can
You
be
get drunk at a
"Man,
theater."
Great.
most people
Man, not
nowadays,
so much.
if you're not
Iffy.
getting like if you go to a place that's like I don't know if you guys have heard of like an Alamo Draft House kind of thing where like you go and there's like you get food and beer and you're in like
The Cineplex by me and Marty's like that.
really nice. Yeah. Like those kind of places that are curated like experiences, I think are one thing, but like
for the experience.
Yeah,
you have like the headphones behind you. You're watching Jurassic Park, and like the dinosaur like licks the back of your neck. You're like,
I get spit on.
Oh, do we have any? I'm going to pause right here. Do we have any 40X theaters near us? Because I heard Jungle Cruise and 40X is a lot of fun.
40X?
Yeah, it's like there's IMAX theaters and there's 40X where they like blast water at you and like have fans blow wind at you.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That I think that's what movie theaters.
That's where we have to go. That's like
Yeah.
for movie theaters to keep up is they have to do shit like
They have
that.
to just
like,
turn into a goddamn theme park.
No, we're so far removed from being like, if I'm going to watch a movie and I could just stream it in 3 weeks, I'll just wait 3 weeks. There's no movies coming out. You had the Star Wars movies, not even the ones that came out now, like the older ones. And you had like Lord of the Rings. And those are the only movies that would come out where you were like, I got to see this shit like
it's like
as soon as it comes out.
Some like
now,
Harry Potter shit.
now
Where you're like, oh, I would
Harry
maybe
Potter.
see this in the theater.
Now, now I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'll just wait a couple months till that shit comes out and I can just buy it at home.
That's
Like,
such
why
a
would I
weird
go out
look.
to a theater?
It's a big deal too nowadays because we have like 10 years ago, most people didn't have like a theater quality setup like at their house.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, like people have a fucking 4K ultra thin like HD TV and they've got sound bars with like high quality audio and all this shit and
surround sound.
Exactly.
And then like guys, like so like we're gonna hang out. We watch Jurassic Park. I run behind you guys and lick all your neck.
You spit.
And you're like, oh, it's a dinosaur. And I'm like, like and you're like, oh shit, I thought Wes went to the bathroom.
You guys remember
when The Rock sneezes, Wes just throws a glass of water in your face.
Yeah, you guys remember when Newman from Seinfeld gets sprayed with acid by that fucking crazy dinosaur in Jurassic Park?
Let's move on. So Quentin Tarantino says he would cast Adam Driver as Rambo if he remade First Blood.
Why? Adam Driver doesn't really seem like a Rambo to me. What do you
No,
guys think?
that's what I thought.
Sylvester Stallone as Rambo. No,
Yes,
I'm young.
Top 5 people who would be better than Adam Driver at being Rambo.
Oh fuck.
Vin Diesel. The
Rock.
Rock.
But he loves family too much.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Oh, that's actually a really good one, Marty.
There's no way people who like Rambo want Rambo to be black.
That's a great point.
Yeah, hands down.
I'd say a majority.
Could you imagine it's Wahlberg with a Boston accent?
Wahlberg, there you go.
Wahlberg's fun.
I'm thinking Daisy Ridley.
Matt Damon.
Boy, yeah.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck both play Rambo. Except Ben Affleck just kind of sits on the couch and eats chips and smokes weed most of the time. And then they get the Best Actor Oscar because of it. Oh shit.
Edward Norton is Rambo.
Who would be a good? I'm trying to think. I think Idris is actually. I think Tom Hardy, not as a joke, might be like a cool Rambo because he.
No, I agree. I love Tom Hardy, man. I love Tom Hardy.
Oh, boys. So I'm pulling up a list here. I actually looked at it's Rambo like Dreamcast actors. And Tom Hardy is pretty fucking high on the list, let me tell you. Number one is Jake Gyllenhaal. Which Jake Gyllenhaal's a really good actor, but I think that
I don't know about that. Jake Gyllenhaal's gonna be in like sad and Weasley, like Skyny. Oh, geez, man, I don't really like. I don't know. I'm Jake Gyllenhaal, and
I don't know how I feel about that.
Like that doesn't seem very Rambo-y to me. Like Rambo's just gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, Rambo's got to be a big chunky dude. Jake
but in a weird way,
strike me. So actually, one that they have that's
Channing
interesting.
Tatum.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Cena,
I don't think
John
he has.
Cena.
I don't think he has the range to. Cena, that would turn
It's
into
just
a
a job for Rambo.
that would turn into a straight to
What
DVD
happened-
Walmart $5 bin. John Cena with fucking Rambo.
What happened? What happened in our lives where John Cena is now recognized as an actor, not a wrestler?
Before, yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
He was good in
happened?
Suicide
Like,
Squad.
he would be a good Rambo because you
2021.
can't see him.
I made a joke like that while watching Sarah today, and
Did
she
you?
just
Oh,
shook
okay.
her head.
Yes.
They were like, "Oh, and this is Peacemaker." I'm like, "I don't see him."
where is he?
These guys actually have an interesting one, jumping off the Idris Elba train, but and I don't know this dude's name like off the top of my head.
Bandy
But
Newton.
It's yes. It's Mike Coulter, who's the dude who plays Luke Cage in the like Netflix things. I don't think any of us watched that, but he's a giant like muscular black dude. He would actually be really good.
I've actually seen like 2 episodes of that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I usually never see more stuff than you guys do.
They have Charlie Hunnam would be a good from like Sons of Anarchy and stuff.
I like us.
Yeah.
I like us recasting. It's fun. Maybe we could turn this into a segment. But this new story.
Honestly, I think recast segment's good.
I am getting the last one they've got that's interesting is Carl Urban, who's he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he's what the fuck is his name in The Boys with the big beard.
Oh yeah. He's Billy Butcher.
Yeah, Billy Butcher.
So I would say that this news story doesn't actually matter because Quentin Tarantino is not remaking First Blood.
True. Yeah, Adam Driver is not. Driver's got crazy range and is obviously like he's a very good actor. I
Not
think
like
that's
that.
obvious.
Not like that,
but yeah,
Ooh.
being like,
Not David
let's put him
Washington.
as fucking Rambo. If they rebooted Die Hard and wanted like kind of a weird take on John McClane as like
Okay.
like I could
I'd be
see
okay with
him
that.
being a muscular and rocking like a white tee kind of deal because John McClane is a little more like he's a little smarter and more like kind of ingenious in the way that he goes about his shit. Where Rambo's more just a murderer kind of.
Rambo's just like, I'm gonna come out and kick your ass.
Yeah. Which Adam Driver's, I don't get that vibe from him, but like sneaky, I think he'd be a better.
Yeah,
McClane.
John McClane's more like international spy. Rambo's more like, I'm just gonna punch you in the face.
Rambo's
That's
like, I'm
like-
gonna
that's
tear your
different.
heart out of your chest.
So Star Wars: The Bad Batch is going to get a season 2, and it's going to come out in 2022. Marty, isn't that did that wrap or is it ending soon?
They have one more episode left. It's all right. Like if I have to hear the little kid just like
Omega?
constantly like say, "But guys, we can't leave him behind. That's wrong." I will throw something at my television.
It seems like it's just Clone Wars again.
It is, but like it's not even like there's certain points that are good, but like I said, like that's
Like
I don't
Clone
need
Wars.
to hear that constant same thing over and over again. Oh man, we gotta help our friends. Oh,
I'm
we gotta help
Omega.
this little poor animal. I'm Omega.
They got to do.
I got a New Zealand accent from Camino.
They got to do what they did in Skyward Sword in the new remastered version, where they totally killed the little fairy that shouts at you the whole time.
Oh yeah,
through
the
whole game.
little sword.
Yeah. It's like, hey, have you seen this item? It's a rupee, and you're like, I played this game for 70 hours. I know what a rupee is.